This is Jen Rubin, editor-in-chief of The Contrarian. I'm delighted to welcome Representative Madeleine Dean from the great state of Pennsylvania to talk to us about the shutdown, about Elon Musk, about the economy. Welcome, Congresswoman. It's so nice to have you.
Oh, Jen, it's good to be with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Where are we? We're recording this on Thursday afternoon in terms of the shutdown. The House passed it on a near party line vote, and now it's over in the Senate. What are you hearing, and what do you think is going to play out over the next 36 hours or so?
I don't know, so I won't pretend to have all of the answers, though I've been speaking with senators and my colleagues, of course. And where I think we are, Jen, on the shutdown is we are already well within it. Take a look at what this administration is doing to try to gut government, to try to shut it down, agency by agency, whether it's the veterans, USAID, Department of Education. This is a government shutdown brought on by Donald Trump and the incompetence of Elon Musk. What will happen? I have to tell you, I was so disappointed in my Republican colleagues for passing the CR, the continuing resolution, which is so irresponsible on two fronts. Constitutionally, they're giving over their power, ceding the power of the purse. What more are we here for, if not to appropriate and to figure out the best way to budget for the American people, not for a couple of wealthy individuals? So that part of it, constitutional abdication, I do not get. But the direct harm to veterans, to seniors, to children, to families, to healthcare, I do not understand it. Think about, I was so proud that we passed the legislation to protect our veterans who served and protected us around toxic gas pits and exposure, burn pits. And this legislation would remove all of that. It's shocking. I'm disappointed in my Republican colleagues, and I call on them to reverse course. In the Senate, you probably have better reporting than I. I hope at a minimum they consider the 4-week CR that was introduced by Senator Murray and Representative Rosa DeLauro.
And after all, we are talking about the power of the purse. It's whether Elon Musk gets to lop off parts of government or whether Congress, which is the Article 1, is the most important branch and does have the power of the purse, gets to act. I think voters expect this. I know people are afraid of who gets blamed, but what are you hearing back home? Do people want you folks to hold the line? Do they want you to kind of pump the brakes on Elon Musk?
I'll tell you, Jen, I've had a couple of telephone town halls because we've been down in DC so much. But I said, let's get these town halls going. People just need to hear from me to let them know what I'm thinking. They get exactly what's going on here. They do not want us to give over the power of the purse. You know what the CR does? It literally gives the color of lawfulness to that which Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing lawlessly right now, shifting money, making a slush fund of that which Congress has appropriated and presidents before him signed into law. My constituents get it. And they're very fearful. The most common word I hear on the very busy phones is I'm afraid, I'm worried, I'm scared for my family, for my seniors, for my parents, my grandparents, my veteran. My constituents, suburban Philadelphia gets it. They want us to push back. They want us to remind our senators, do your job, make sure you retain that authority and you protect us, not protecting the billionaires.
I think, Congresswoman, you said something that is absolutely essential for people to understand. If the Senate Democrats go along with this, they are blessing this action by the Trump people. Right now, there's a good, clean argument. A lot of these cases are making headway. A lot of these cases are victorious because the president is acting well beyond his powers under Article 2. If Congress goes along with this and authorizes him to make these changes, I don't know where we're going to be.
Exactly.
Let me shift to the economy. Donald Trump has only been in office a number of weeks. The economy has crashed. We're in a tariff war. people are beginning to wonder and worry about a recession. What are you hearing from businesses, from workers back home? What are they concerned about in terms of the economy?
The absolutely erratic nature of this administration and the president's shifting policies hour by hour. They're very worried. I have seniors worried about their retirements, people approaching retirement who are looking at their 401ks and saying, what in God's name just happened here? I lost thousands of dollars of value in a very short period of time because we have a president who is allowing us to go into free fall. Businesses, they cannot plan. Grad schools, I had the American colleges in, and they said as a result of the cutoff of research, billions of dollars of very important research, they are literally already deciding to admit only half the number of graduate students that they would have admitted before. You've talked to person after person, industry after industry. They are fearful of what this very incompetent approach to our economy. And they see in Donald Trump that he doesn't really care. There was some faux idea that he really paid attention to the stock market. Clearly, he does not. Not to mention the insanity of doing a car commercial on the White House lawn. People get what this is. This is not a care about tariffs. This is, it's an absurdity, the way that Donald Trump is treating our allies and friends, whether they are at war or they're our northern or southern neighbor with whom we do so much business. This is absolutely a chaotic smokescreen so that we are distracted from the fact of what they're actually doing right now. They're writing tax cuts for the wealthiest among us. And that's a very small sliver of people. This is not about playing with tariffs because he thinks he's a good businessman. He's not. Clearly, Elon Musk is not either. My constituents get it, and they're darn worried.
You mentioned the Tesla sale House lawn, which was appalling. One of the issues that has perhaps gotten not enough coverage because there's been so much else going on is the issue of corruption. That Elon Musk is going in to make cuts in a Defense Department with which he has contracts. We saw how much money he poured into Trump's campaign, and now Trump is doing Tesla commercials for him. How concerned are you that simply the rules of corruption, they're relaxing the Foreign Registration Act, they're relaxing the obligation that businesses not engage in bribery overseas? How concerned are you that this is becoming like gangster capitalism? We're beginning to look more and more like Russia, and it's not just because Trump is infatuated with their Ukraine policy.
I'm gravely concerned. I think back when I came in 2019, and I was serving on the Judiciary Committee alongside Jamie Raskin, and he and I used to have what I now think of as quaint conversations about violation of the Emoluments Clause. As we would walk by Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C., which of course became defunct after he lost the first time, that you should not be able to profit by being in office, by being in the highest office in the land. Those guardrails are blown off. We have to count on our courts to bring them back, although I'm very fearful because we have a Supreme Court who, of course, has offered this president immunity for actions he takes while in office, not to mention Citizens United years before, which unleashed so much of this dark money. I am gravely worried about it. And what I do hope is that citizens stand by. You know, we are in many court cases. You saw the one today, which called, I believe, the firings a scam or a sham. I'm forgetting which word was used by the Northern California judge, saying you must reinstate all of these federal employees. But I hope other court cases will also dig in and reveal, although they're doing it in plain sight, when you have a car lot out front of the White House, that will reveal that actually this is in violation of the law, that you cannot sit here, profit from this office, sit among so many conflicts. You pointed out Elon Musk. $38 billion worth of defense contracts. That's how he made his money, by the federal government subsidizing him, as he so incompetently cuts the federal government. I count on the courts and I count on citizens as we fight in the minority to just expose exactly what they are doing.
So speaking of the voters, as we reach the end of our time, you have been able to squeeze in a couple town halls in spite of the fact of the workload. Congress is going to have a recess. What do you expect to find back in Pennsylvania, in your district, perhaps in neighboring districts? The Republicans seem to be hiding under the bed. What do you expect to be seeing when you engage with constituents or with other people's constituents?
Well, I hope to just constantly reveal the truth. But I do know from when I'm home, because I have the convenience of being able to travel home pretty quickly on a weekend, that no matter where I am, constituents come up to me, whether it's in the grocery store or at a restaurant, and just keep saying, please, Mad, what are you doing? What are Democrats doing? And they are just so worried and fearful. They see exactly what's going on, the corruption, the greed at the top of this administration. And what they are appalled by is what I keep calling, what Martin Luther King called, the appalling silence of good people. The so-called good people on the Republican conference in the House, why are they silent? Why are my Republican members from Pennsylvania silent? I know my constituents are calling on, for example, Mr. Fitzpatrick to have a town hall. He hasn't had a town hall, I think, since 2017. What are you afraid of? Well, we know the Republicans are getting hit hard when they do town halls. We are responsible to our constituents. So I'll keep doing town halls in person and on the telephone, because by telephone, you can get a whole lot of people. I had 9,000 people on one of them for the whole hour. But I'll be calling on my colleagues to also do town halls and stop their appalling silence in the face of this corruption. They are breaking all the guardrails of this Constitution. I do not understand their complicit nature.
Well, I think you put it very eloquently, and I will remind our contrarian viewers, readers, that if there isn't a town hall in your district because your Republican is hiding, you can stage one. You can rent out a facility. You can go to a high school. You can go to a town square and invite your neighbors, because the only way, I think, is the combination of Democrats inside, the courts outside, and the American people all over the country. So thank you for fighting the good fight, and thank you for visiting with us. We'll look forward to having you again soon. Thanks so much, Congresswoman.